Before we start, please hear a message from International News Today Network. Starting today, for every subscriber, International News Today Network will plant one tree to save our planet. Please help contribute in saving our planet by subscribing to our channel. One subscriber equals one tree. Thanks. Arms, ammunition, and weapons systems worth billions of dollars have been flown into Ukraine from the United States, United Kingdom and the European Union as emergency military aid since Russia invaded the country on February 24 this year. While the conflict has galvanized Western and NATO unity, fears have also emerged about the long-term fate of the weaponry floating around in Ukraine. Interpol Chief Jürgen Stock, for one, expects an influx of weapons into Europe once the war winds down. Alluding to NATO's increased unity, Jens Stoltenberg, its Secretary General, said to The Atlantic, the Russian president wanted less NATO, only to end up with a lot more NATO than has existed at any time since the end of the Cold War. At the end of May, the US announced military assistance worth $4.6 billion for Ukraine. The UK has announced military aid worth £1.3 billion, while the EU has declared €2 billion in military support. The US security assistance to Ukraine started in 2014 after Russia annexed Crimea. According to estimates from the Stimson Center, a think tank in Washington, the US sent around $2.7 billion in security aid to Ukraine between 2014 and 2021. The U.S. State Department highlights that, since 2014, the U.S. has sent military aid worth $7.3 billion to Ukraine. This includes the $4.6 billion sent in after the war began in February 2022. In a statement from the White House on June 1, U.S. President Joe Biden reiterated the country's military support to Ukraine, declaring, "The United States will stand with our Ukrainian partners and continue to provide Ukraine with weapons and equipment to defend itself." The US has only sent weapons through which Ukraine can defend itself. This means that till now the US has abstained from providing long-range weapons through which Ukraine can attack Russian territory. The war in Ukraine has reflected the centrality of drones for both reconnaissance and attack purposes in modern conflict. They have been central to Ukraine's defense against Russia's multi-pronged invasion. The Department of Defense, DoD, reports that the U.S. has sent in more than 700 Switchblade tactical UAVs, and also specially developed and sent over 121 Phoenix Ghost loitering munitions for the Ukrainian forces. Apart from drones, the U.S. has sent in over 20 Mi-17 helicopters and 105 tactical vehicles to tow and recover equipment. The DoD and the State Department also confirmed that the U.S. sent laser-guided rocket systems in late May and would send high-mobility artillery rocket systems, HIMARS, in June. The laser-guided rocket systems are essentially the Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System 2. These were used by the U.S. forces to target the Islamic State, IS. The rocket system includes a 70 mm rocket with a laser seeker and control section attached. This converts the rocket into a precision-guided munition. According to reports, the U.S. will send in 4 HIMARS to Ukraine. The decision to send the HIMARS was announced in a statement from Biden on June 1. The HIMARS has been a consistent demand of the Ukrainian armed services and was only sanctioned after weeks of deliberations in the White House. According to a press briefing by senior U.S. administration officials, it was sanctioned after the U.S. got repeated assurances from Kyiv that it would be used only for defensive purposes and not to target Russian territory. Further, the list of weaponry sent by the U.S. includes 1,400 Stinger anti-aircraft systems, 6,500 Javelin anti-armor systems, 20,000 other anti-armor missiles, 108 155 mm howitzers, and small arms and ammunition amounting to over 7,000 weapons and over 50 million rounds.